Hello, good morning. Welcome to Budgie Uncaged, and it's Saturday morning, just after 11 a.m. Well, we've got a few bits I want to sort of chat about today. I've also sent the link over to the Wizard of Oz, so hopefully he'll join me in the studio, and we can have a little bit of a giggle and a bit of a laugh as well. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. will be the premiere of Football Refocused, which is going to be just, an upgraded, I say upgraded, a revamped version of Football Unfocused. So it's just going to be a little bit of this. Yeah, well, it's going to be different. Okay, so I've only got a couple of people watching at the moment, but hello to whoever you are. No comments as yet. Right, so let's get to the transfer rumours. First of all, Douche collect a car. Now, there's been lots of conflicting rumours about whether we're going to be getting him or whether we're not going to be getting him, whether we're going to offer this amount and that amount, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and apparently there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, although we don't get to see anything of it. Morning, Darren, how are you, sir? Or should I say good evening to you, mate? Thank you for joining us. The Coletta car situation, I personally would really like to get him. I think he's a very, very useful player. And from the video that I believe it was Cam put in the group chat of him with his passing ability, he looks like he can ping a ball in any spot on the pitch, and 99% of the balls that I saw him put across were easily controlled by the recipient. So, he's got a good footballing brain. He's got a lovely touch on him, and he's got a wicked pass on him. So yeah, collect a car. That's one player that I'm hoping that we're going to secure before the end of the window on Monday. So we've got 2 days left of the window, or 2.5 if you include today. It's not been good so far. We've not made any signings, as you well know. We haven't had any outgoings as yet, that I'm aware of anyway. And then, there's been rumours about Lingard going to Newcastle, and there's also strong rumours that he's going to return to West Ham. And from a report I saw earlier this morning, at about 7 a.m. this morning, I saw that he will be staying at Manchester United. Do I think that that's the right move for him? No, I don't. I think he's better off moving on, whether it is with us or with Newcastle. He will be better off. He hasn't got very long left on his contract. He's got less than 6 months now. So, in August, he goes on a free, he hasn't got to do anything until August. But if he wants to get in the England squad, I do believe that West Ham are his best opportunity to do that. Playing alongside Declan Rice and the likes of Jared Bowen, who must be catching the eye of Gareth Southgate by now. He must be. He's got a few choices on his hands, but I mean, there's also the choice that he can go to a foreign country, Spain or Germany or Italy or somewhere like that. But I don't think he wants to do that. I think he's too likely to become homesick. Let's just have a quick look on the comment. Darren says, Carr seems an old-fashioned, no-nonsense defender. When he tackles crunch. He really tackles crunch. Yes, yeah, he does. And, you know, as I said, he's got fantastic distribution on him. You know, I haven't seen a defender quite like that. Because let's be fair, he's a left-sided centre back. That's his most comfortable position, I believe. And I think he also plays as a left wing back as well at times, which is very useful if you know the inevitable happens and Aaron Creswell gets injured again. So you know he could be a very, very useful player for us. I just want to give a big shout out actually to a couple of people while we're here. Give a shout out to where are we? West Ham Random. There you go. Representing for him today. Peach, love you, man. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Gatesy and Duke from Forge from Iron. You know, over this last few days, it's been a very testing time for a lot of us. No shame in that. It's been a very difficult time for us with the passing of Isla. We were all kind of expecting it, but I think in our hearts we were hoping that something could be done. So you know, let's just take a moment to pause for a moment to think about poor little Isla while I bring Kieran in. Good morning, sir, or good evening, sir.
Good evening and a good morning to you. How are you, bro?
How are you, mate? All right. Yeah. Seems weird seeing you without the backdrop.
No, I spun it round today because the earlier on I should have gone back, but earlier on the way the sun is it does stuff your camera and the lighting. You keep going into dark and light, so I thought it'd be better to just have especially at night, the lighting behind, so it'd be easier. You know, yeah.
Well, it's a bit like me because the weather's so unpredictable here. At the moment, it's bloody sunny, and I could open my blind and I could have like natural light on me, which is obviously a lot better. But because, as I said, it's so unpredictable, I've got like a ceiling light with spots on it, so I just point one over my head so that it lights up behind me.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't lose me in the picture. I don't become a shadow. And that's just a tip for you, mate. Lighting up behind you if you can.
Yeah, it's right.
As well as on your face.
Above my head, when the sun's above, I'm fine sitting there, and all you can see is the trees behind me. But sometimes, if it's really cloudy and all that, it just goes into a darkness. You know, so I'd switched there. I forgot to move back, to be honest. But there you go.
Sorry, just 1 second, Kieran. In the bag in front of the tumble dryer. Right, yeah, sorry. Well, actually, it's lovely of you to mention that, but I actually meant, and I didn't want to interrupt you, I meant without the football unfocused one. Now, we would normally have that at this time of day on a Saturday.
Yeah, we would. Well, yeah, sure. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's Saturday.
But yeah, so unfortunately, because I haven't had a chance to upgrade my account yet, I haven't got the facility to show pictures and that at the moment. But he has done a new backdrop for us, Titch. He just he said to me, "Do you know what I was thinking?" And I thought maybe you should have a different backdrop for refocus, rather than revamping the unfocused one. So I said, well, you know, it's sorry, I'm going to put that up on the screen. Yeah, so he said, I think you should have a new background. I said, yeah, do you know what, Titch? I was thinking the same. And you know, within seconds, he sent it to me. I've been working on this one. What do you think? And I went, I love it. Well, it's actually quite good. Right, so I've got a little 30-second video I'm going to play in a second. And there is an image of it on that. So you can have a look at our new studio for Refocused. It won't be on tomorrow's show because, as I said, I haven't had a chance to upgrade yet.
Yeah, we don't.
But it will be on next week's show. It will be on next week's Sunday show. So Sunday's at 9 a.m. Anyway, listen. Oh, hang on. Let me take that comment off. And I will just quickly find this little video I did. There it is. Okay, so it has got an image of our new studio. What do you think on that then?
Good.
Morning, son. You all right? Yeah. So he's done us a little new little studio for Refocused.
Yeah, I haven't told the kids for a few days. He's so good at it.
I know, yeah, and he does it within minutes. You know what I mean? It's like what he's just done there would probably take me about 3 days at the moment. I'm still learning how to use these apps I've got on my phone, you know. I keep finding new things, you know. I mean, like, do you know what I found? Do you know, when I got this app, I found this at the bottom. You can't see what I'm looking at, but Peach found it about 3 or 4 days ago. He said, "Oh, look, you can put music on." And look, I can put background music on.
Oh, I know that.
I don't know. Well, I didn't.
Fucking hell, I was on with Peach earlier, right? And I tried to, I tried to come on later, you know, when he was on his own, because I thought I'd look at him and go, oh, fuck, but he's on his own now. I'll just pop in, you know, just because he's on his own now. You know, he had people on, and right, I'm just. Me and him just have a chat, and then it goes to James, and then Charlie, and then Athens, and oh fucking, it turned into the usual mate. And all he had was, and he was hitting the music non-fucking stop. But it was one of the introduction one was quite good. But yeah, you had it going in the background, a bit of lift music behind you.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 different tunes that you can use, and you can loop it. You can turn the volume right down on it. I mean, hang on.
Yeah.
Let's just have this little bit playing. Yeah, but it's good for, you know, if I'm just showing images and that, I can just have a bit of background music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there now, just like really quietly.
Must be fucking quiet.
Yeah, it is quiet. I can hear it, but that's because I've got earphones in. But yeah, I mean, you can have it as quiet as you like. But yeah, so
what's new?
How are things? Well, I'll tell you what's new. We haven't made any signings.
Can't believe it.
Ain't that strange?
Not really, because I predicted this 3.5 weeks ago. Nothing would happen to the last 2 days. But I do think something will happen. I still believe that. But
I do actually, but you know, I've got to be honest.
That we haven't. It doesn't surprise me at all that we haven't. So I thought that was always going to be the case.
Yeah. Darren says, if you shut up, I feel like I'm in a meditation room with that music. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, mate, I am not turning this show into a shit show. Right, there we go. That music is just rubbish. It really is. Excuse me.
No, it's okay for background.
Yeah, it's all right, but I wouldn't bloody use it. I don't want people dancing instead of listening to me. All right. Let's be fair. If I played that music, people would just stand there trying to pretend they're pushing a button or something. That is proper lift music. Yeah. So there's no bloody football until next week.
I know, it's fucking annoying, eh? It's really
I know. And then our first game back, Kidderminster Harriers.
Yeah, I know. It's not as if it's a proper game, is it? It's just that. Yeah.
But, you know, you have got to look at it that we can't be complacent. And we've got to get through that to progress in the FA Cup. So,
yeah,
you know, let's give them their 15 minutes, let them score first and then smash them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let them score first. That's what I say. Or, I know there ain't no replays, is there?
No.
I was going to say give them a replay and let them come to the LS.
Exactly.
But
this is something
that would have been nice, wouldn't it?
With these new rules, it can either be a great thing for one of these little small clubs or non-league clubs or even Division 1 or 2. It can be a great thing that there is no replay, or it can be a terrible thing because in our day, Budgie, as you knew, when it came to FA Cup, the biggest thing one of these teams could do was bring a big team to their pitch, which was usually a fucking mud heap, and you know, and smaller and crappier, and battle out a draw and get a replay at Upton Park or at Old Trafford or at White Hart Lane or at Liverpool. You know, it was a massive thing and a big money spinner for them, and that was a great thing, and that's been taken away somewhat with this, isn't it?
Yeah, it has. And you know,
and the rules,
I mean, all right, okay,
where you know, back then, if they couldn't think you know they were ever going to win it, they could actually opt to go to Old Trafford or Upton Park or wherever. They could opt to do that, and
come get half of the gate receipts, wouldn't it?
And say, well, look, we'd rather play this one game at your place. They can't do that now. Wherever it's the rules are now. G'day, Paul.
Paul, thanks for joining us.
Wherever it's drawn is where you have to play it. That's
yeah.
You know, so it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I have actually got a funny feeling that because of this COVID situation that we've been experiencing for 2 years nearly, I think that once this panic about it, which has kind of died down quite a lot, I must say, in the last few weeks.
Good, hope so.
But the panic about it, the fear of, you know, contracting it and perhaps dying from it and that, which is a very genuine fear. Don't let me, you know, please don't get me wrong. I am not belittling it at all. It's a very dangerous thing. I mean, 2 of my friends have been very close to dying from it. And so, you know, I actually have been taking it very seriously for the last year anyway, because of that. You know, my friends, both of them, their partners, you know, they're each other's partners, and they were both hospitalised. And fortunately, my friend Mark made a speedy recovery, whereas Heather, she didn't. She was very ill for a very long time, kept on, you know, a ventilator and everything. So, you know, very close. But so once that's out of the way, I got a funny feeling that the FIFA, UEFA, whoever's making the rules, or the FA, or whatever the case may be, I think they may revisit the rule book and have a look. And so, because, you know, I can understand this being a temporary measure, Kieran, but I can't see it being a sustainable long-term measure, because, you know, clubs like Kidderminster Harriers and Sutton United and, you know, Forest Green Rovers and teams like that, they rely on their cup runs to get added revenue, you know, and by playing at somewhere like even at Loftus Road, or
I
you
don't
know,
think,
or
you know, the rule that they could, if they got a home draw, I don't think that rule to opt to go is anything to do with COVID. This was done a while back.
yeah, no. What I'm
The
thinking about is
replay thing
revisiting
is
the rule
the
with the
replay
replay.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that'll
replay
come
thing
back in.
Like that.
Yeah,
That's
so that'll
typical
give
Premier
them.
League.
That'll
But yeah, but that's
yeah,
Premier League fucking greed because they don't want any more fixtures.
yeah.
You know,
But you know,
yeah. It doesn't suit them to have more fixtures, you know.
No, you're right. Paul's saying he's just got back from macro with 2 kilos of sausages.
2 kilos.
2 kilos. That's like, hang on.
What?
That's like 32 sausages from Sainsbury's.
A fair few. 2 kilos.
Yeah, because you get like 8 in a ½ kilo pack, don't you?
Yeah.
495 grams, I think it is.
All right. There you go. I mean, that should do.
Yeah, but that's like pre-packaged sausages. I mean, Paul's probably gone and got like a string of them, about 4 foot long.
No, just about watched fucking Paul's earlier when I went on with Peachy, right? He put up a vid there earlier about the best noodle he's had in Bangkok, and I went, fuck, I didn't get a chance to watch it. But Paul, I will watch it. I'll watch it later.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so
I look better than sausages,
I nearly didn't get here on time, you know, because I quickly flopped out to go and get me breakfast. Right, you know, I haven't had a Subway in probably a year, so I went out and got myself a Subway, steak and cheese with jalapenos and red onions, and I didn't like it, so I only ate half of it. I didn't like it, so yeah, I'm not going to be going to Subways again. Isn't it funny how your tastes change?
Yeah.
Before all this COVID and that, you know, every time I filled up, I bought myself a Subway because I always try and fill up at the same petrol station, you know. And they've got a Subway in there, and I always used to go in there and grab myself that. But I don't think I'm going to bother anymore.
Yeah, well, really
enjoy it. Nah.
No.
Yeah. The only reason I'd go back there is the bird working behind the counter.
Yeah, that's always a loser in the end.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Anything else, my love? Yeah. How about your phone number? Police. Darren says I'm chilling. My motorbike failed its MOT, passing a brown envelope in a sec. Oh.
Yeah. Darren was on it. He was off to the MOT place.
So what? They have to have MOTs and that over in Thailand as well. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I thought Thailand was the sort of place where you would see a truck driving down the road, and you'd see a kid sitting on the bonnet a bit pouring water into the radiator, and another kid sitting on the front bumper catching it in another jug.
30 years ago,
and swapping jugs. That's the sort of thing I would expect, though.
I don't think there's any rules.
It's just my ignorance. I've never been there, have I? You know, it's just me.
I've been there once, mate, and it was
ignorant,
you know
ignorant and giving.
What I did love about Thailand was that the lack of rules and the fact you felt you felt more freedom there. That you know, not everybody's looking at you to make a rule up about you can't do this, you can't do that. It was just very free. I really felt relaxed when I was there. You know, it was just and I think the majority of the places did. But if you live there, obviously you got a bike. Most people have bikes there. You know, either scooters or motorbikes to get around. It's easier. It's easier than having cars. You know, and
could you let Kieran know? Could you let Kieran know that I've downloaded only what's it called? Only something or other, isn't it?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I've downloaded it. I liked it. I thought it was a good tune, so I've downloaded it.
I will.
Good tune.
He likes it. I like it.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, that's a point. Artisan. That's who we got to be. Yeah. Right. Okay. Look, it's just a little reminder running across the bottom now. Football Refocus live every Sunday, 9 o'clock UK time, 7 p.m. Australia. And check your own location for times wherever you may be in the world. Thailand's probably somewhere like, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the evening or something, isn't it?
No. Well, it's 7 in the evening for me. There'll be 4 in the afternoon for them.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So they're only like about 6 hours ahead of me then. No. 7 hours ahead of me. 7 hours ahead of me.
There's 7.
I shall try and remember that. 7 in front of me. Okay. Yeah, do you know what? I was going to put.
What will stuff you up?
Put the,
when the clocks, when you change your clocks,
yeah,
whatever that is.
Yeah, you don't.
Then I'll only be 9 hours in front of you, and not 10.
Oh, that's all right. I can live with that.
I know, but it will change.
So
when you change your clock, then I'm 9 hours instead of 10.
So Refocused will then go out at 6 p.m. your time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's easy enough for me to remember. I can remember that. But when does that happen? Oh, summer, isn't it?
It won't happen till, when it's just when it first happens, your clock changes. Yeah. You have to get used to it again. 10,
October, is it October when it changes to winter time? To our winter hours. Is it October? End of October sometime?
Yeah, but you're
somewhere.
You're in winter time. Yeah, you're in winter time now, right? So when does yours change back? So it'll be soon, won't it?
British summertime's, I think it's about the end of May or something, mid-May.
Right. When it changes,
up until then, I mean, I think at mid-February, late February is when it changes to spring.
Yeah,
and then we get like until May. It's only about 2 months we get a springtime for. And then it starts going into the summer at the end of May.
April, May, you change your clocks, and then it's 9 instead of 10.
Yeah, because we get June, July, August, and some of September. We get some of September as part of our summertime. But then you also got to think about autumn as well, which comes in for a while as well. But it just seems to me that the winter is just our longest season.
Yeah,
it's the most depressing of all, and it's the longest.
I always found that, Budgie. I mean, I love the British summer, mate. I loved it because of the late nights, and just fantastic. But the winter, the dark mornings, the early dark nights, I hated it. Always hated the winter there.
All right, okay. So Darren's saying that the 5-year-old Mitsubishi Triton pickup passed, but the Honda 110cc failed. What did it fail on, mate? What did it fail on?
Everything.
Yeah, it's a Honda, isn't it? Oh dear. So I only really sort of scheduled this just to sort of fill a gap while Unfocused weren't on, but because I know that nobody else is actually going live at 11, so fortunately. Right, hang on, what's that? I have okay. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the first Unfocused tomorrow. I'm bloody hoping I've got everything right to get it as a premiere. I'm not exactly sure, but I am going to contact Titch later and make sure that I know what I've got to do. So, Kieran, thank you for joining me, mate. I'm not going to harp on for too much longer. As I said, I was only just filling a little gap. And, I was going to talk about transfers. But I know you don't like doing that, so let's not do that. And then
my issue with transfers was the first 3.5 weeks. I didn't want to talk about them because it's pointless. But now you're getting to the last 2 days. Now, for me, it gets interesting. Now, but before I didn't want to hear. I haven't looked at any transfer stuff. All the stuff that was sent on WhatsApp, I haven't looked at them. I don't care because I know it's all nonsense. But this last couple of days will be interesting. Now you can take a bit of notice of it because we're either signing someone or we're not. So now it takes a different route, you know. And then, believe you me, if we don't sign anybody, well,
well, you know,
we would start worrying. But I do believe we'll get at least 2 in. I do believe that. I've always believed that. I thought we'd get. I knew it'd be late, and I knew we'd get a couple in. But at the moment, you know, nothing's happened. But we still got a couple of days left.
Who are you edging your bets on, though?
Huh?
Who are you edging your bets on?
I think, you know, from what I'm hearing with the traffic of talk, that Kaleta car looks like it's a possibility.
Yeah.
You know,
we've been tracking him for the best part of 18 months or more.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, I mean, but in fact, it probably is more.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been ongoing, isn't it, for a long time. And but what I'm hearing the last day or so for everyone, it seems like he's more likely than anyone else.
Yeah.
What else comes with that? I don't know. I really don't know. It's just toss a coin, mate. Unless there's some, you know, there's some.
You know, I was clickbaited into a story yesterday. It's like Man United striker exit or something like that. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I clicked on it, and it was all about blinking Rashford going to Sevilla, is it? He's gone.
No, that was Martial.
Martial, sorry, not Rashford. Martial.
Yeah, he's gone to Sevilla.
Martial. Yeah, he's gone to Sevilla. And I thought, do you know what? I didn't need to know that. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't bother me. But I was clickbaited into it because, like, there I was thinking it was Lingard, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, at least I might know where Lingard's gone. And then later on in that story, though, it does say that Lingard will be staying at Man United. So, and that was, that was not an official Man United story, but it was from a Man United source.
Nobody knows what Lingard's doing. Nobody. No one. Nah. And it's simple as that. To me,
I have this feeling that Lingard is being respectful to Manchester United by not blabbing, you know, and I think he's also being respectful to David Moyes by not saying anything, because whether he's going to go to Newcastle or us, if that's his choices,
he might not go anywhere.
He might not go anywhere. He might stay at United. He might even end up at Leicester, for all we know. He might be having a little quiet word in his ear. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm just saying Leicester as an example. But you know, the one thing that, you know, that Lingard's doing is he's keeping his mouth shut, and he's not giving anybody any false information or any truthful information or anything. What he's doing is, and that is being respectful also to David Moyes, because David Moyes has already come out and said, I will not speak to another player while he's under contract with another team. That's what he said. And that's why we're not getting transfer news direct from David Moyes, because he won't speak about another player whilst they're under contract with another club.
No. But what he can do, he can approach that club and say, look, do you want to sell him? He can approach the club, not the player.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think that's happened.
Oh, I do. I do.
I know.
Listen, none of us thought he was going to be getting Lingard. None of us had any idea he was looking at bringing in Lingard. None of us did.
No.
Look, and then all of a sudden, there's a photograph of him with David Moyes in a West Ham. Huh?
Man United are holding the cards, aren't they? When it comes to
of course Lingard. They are. You know, and you know, to some degree, you know, some of those cards are in Lingard's hand. You know, he's probably holding them close to his chest.
They are, but he can only ask. He can only ask to leave or put in a transfer request. Now,
yeah.
He's not going to do that because of he's only got 6 months to go. He walks. But I have said it before, Budge. I never thought Man United will sell him to us because they see us as a rival at the moment. That's why I don't think he'll.
I understand that. I understand that, and that's one of the points
they
that
want him to come. If he went to Newcastle, you know, on loan or whatever, they'd be happy. They wouldn't. It wouldn't bother them, but because they're no threat to their league position. We are.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the chat of one of the West Ham Network shows. By the way, big up West Ham Network. I was in the chat for one of their shows the other day, and that was one of the points that I made, that, you know, Manchester United are going to refuse to sell him to us, regardless of even if we doubled their expectation of a price.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they're going to refuse to sell him to us because they see us as a threat, as a challenger to their league position. Regardless of what they view their league, you know, their rightful league position as. You know, I mean, let's be fair, over the last couple of years, they haven't really been Champions League quality, have they?
No,
you know,
not at all.
They brought in a couple of signings, as in, you know, I think that Varela, I thought Varela was a good signing for him. And Varane was a good signing for him. Yeah, he was a good signing for him, and obviously
there's
the
lots
incredible
of good
Sulk.
There's lots of good signings there. And it's honestly, that is a great squad. They just don't seem to have any direction at them, and they're not.
I know,
and now this guy,
and that's it. Yeah, this guy seems to got them all on the same page.
A little bit better. It's only time will tell whether he's going to.
Do you know, I've found recently though that when managers come to the Premiership from abroad, regardless of their nationality, if they're a big name, like for example, Pep Guardiola, they go to the big clubs, and generally the lesser known managers tend to go to the mid-table and lower table clubs. But this guy that's at United, I'd never heard of him. I still can't even remember his name.
Rangnick.
You know,
Rangnick.
That's it, Rangnick. And I've never heard of him before.
No, but
I think I might have heard of him as a player.
No, I hadn't, but when I looked into him, you know, all of the big managers regard him as an amazing coach, and he's done well in Europe with clubs, and they all recognise him as a top coach. So that's why he's been put in place. But he's only been put in place to the interim, to the end of the season, and unless he turns them magnificently around, then he might get offered a job, or he might not. So all they've done is just fill a gap to the end of the season, and then decide what they want to do, man.
Yeah.
Not that we care. We don't really care, do we? So,
Alex, I'll get her to ring you back, mate. She's upstairs in the shower, I think. All right, mate. Okay, I'll get her to ring you back. All right, mate. Bye. Right, sorry about that. My daughter's phone's sitting there, and I think she's in the shower, so I ain't going to go and take it. So. No. Right. So, Okay, so let's knock it on the head for now. Then we got football refocused tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Australia. Check your local timings for whatever time that is. It's the first of a new series that we're going to do together. It's a rebranded Football Unfocused tool for all intents and purposes. So, give it a look in the morning. We've had a lovely little chat, and I'm quite happy about it, and I think you will be too. Right, so thank you guys for joining us in the chat, Paul and Darren. That's the only two that have actually commented. So thank you everybody for watching. Kieran, thank you for joining me again. As usual, it's always a pleasure chatting with you, mate. And give my regards to the boy and tell him keep doing what he's doing. It's good stuff. Artisan, people. Artisan. And with an X. Thank you, Darren.
Yeah, good to see Darren, mate. He's always about, isn't he?
Always about. Love the man. Love the man. And Paul, love the stuff you've been putting out. It's brilliant, mate. And if I do ever get to Thailand, which isn't necessarily high on my list, but if I do get the opportunity to come out there, I will look you up, and I'll make sure that you take me to one or two of the places that I like to look on those videos. Yeah, mate. Oh, look, Lucas is in the house. He's just joined us from American Hammers.
Hey, Lucas.
Is that Lucas? Yeah, that is Lucas from American Hammers. And Rebecca, hello, Bex. How are you, my love? Thank you for joining us. Look, people are joining us really late in the stream, but it's really nice of you to do so. So we could keep the stream going on for a little bit longer if you're not busy, Kieran.
No, I'm all right. Yeah,
you're right, yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
all right then. Well, let's talk about something else then, shall we? Green Street. Let's talk about Green Street. Give me a news story about Green Street that I've never heard before.
You never heard before?
Yeah. I don't know. Get caught nicking an apple off of one of the fruit and veg stalls or something. I don't know.
I tell you what, I got.
It's fine, Rebecca.
I can tell you this story, right? And
yeah.
Now I know if you probably Google this, it made the fucking, it made the Sunday papers. Let's put it that way. And so, which is a good or a bad thing. And yeah, how do I tell this story? This is
carefully.
Be politically correct with it. I know, look, it is what it is. What it is, right?
It is what it is. Okay, we don't have to be politically correct, if I'm honest.
In that local pub I used to drink in, right, as a Duke of Edinburgh, and I'm going back to the days where the pubs used to shut at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right, and then open at 5. Do you remember that, Budge?
Sorry, mate. Do I remember?
The pubs used to start during the week, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then open at 5.
Yeah. Of course, I remember that. Yeah.
This was a Saturday afternoon there wasn't no game on, and I was sitting in the pub in Green Street, Duke of Edinburgh, and now there was about 10 of us in there, right? And the geezer, the landlord of the pub, used to give us a bit of a lot. He just let us stay there, play cards or whatever, till it opened at 5 o'clock, right? That was the deal, right?
Yeah.
Now there was a few other geezer. One of them, he was a bit of a knobhead, to be fair. He's a fucking flash Harry, fucking big gold chain. He's a bit of a knobhead. But he went out. He said, "I'm just going to pop out and get a bite to eat. I'm back in a minute." Anyway, he comes storming back in about 20 minutes later, right? And you go, fucking hell, these fuckers have just nicked my fucking chains tonight. And they were Asian, right? They were Indians or Pakistani guys, right? In this fucking Mercedes. So we stormed out of the pub, right? And saw the Mercedes. Said, that's them, right? and his brother put his fist through their side window, knocked the geezer, fucking started bang bang, and then we started smashing the car, right, to try and get his gold chains back.
Yeah.
And the Mercedes took off, right? And fucking, that was that, right? He took off, right? And he's fucking done some damage to the car. So we all went back in the pub, right? Now it's about 4:30. The pub's due to open back. We sat in there and went, and I said to the boys, I said, mate, that ain't gonna fucking end there. I'll tell you that now. That ain't gonna end. We're sitting in the pub here. We're gonna get fucking, something's gonna come of this, you know. And so one of the main geezers there, he phoned his old woman up, right?
Yeah, I got this one. Yeah.
He said, put some. And this was this thing, right? He said, put some tools in the car, bring it down here, right? Because I knew that they were going to come back hard, right, really hard. So he got his missus to load the back of the car up with baseball bats and fucking everything that they had and get to the fucking pub and give them to us, because I just knew it was going to happen. Anyway, we're waiting on her. We're still playing cards. We're still having a beer. We've been there for fucking 5 hours. We're drinking away. And I'm not joking. Before she got there with anything, all of a sudden, every window in the pub just came crashing through. Every one. Fucking bricks. Everything came through the pub. All right. But fuck. Here we go. And we had, all we could grab was fucking pool cues. That was it. And we fucking run out the door, and I'm not joking, there was 100 Asian guys there looking for blood, right? Real blood, right? And I meant, we went out and I fuck. And then I ran back in the door, and it had one of them Georgian wire glass round porthole top.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
He came at me with an iron bar, and I fucking shut the door, and he hit the glass, the porthole, and I had fucking glass come into my eyes. I mean, I had glass in my eyes. I couldn't fucking see. It was that much. It shattered, and it was mayhem outside. Mayhem. It was fucking retreat. I couldn't see. I had this trying to get this glass out of my eyes. And it just kicked off everywhere outside, right? But the police turned up, right? And the old bill, it was a fucking riot.
Yeah, they love doing that.
Yeah. But that was it, right? And it was really funny, right? You know, because I would like to see a funny side in silly stories like this, right? Or violent stories, or whatever you want to call them. And my missus expect me home 4 hours ago, and I said, "Look, love," and the governor, you know, knew him really well. He give me your phone, mate. No mobiles then. I phoned her up and said, "Look, love, you won't believe this. The coppers won't let us leave the pub."
No.
Which was true. They just locked everyone in here. We weren't allowed to leave, right? You won't believe it.
No, that's their tactics. That's their tactics, though, isn't it, mate? You know, that's their tactics. So I just want to acknowledge the fact that we've got Chitch in the house, and we've got Wally in the house. Hey, we've got Rebecca in the house. I think we still have Darren in the house. And I'm not sure if we've got Thailand Paul still. He was here a little while ago. Don't know if he's still here now.
He's got his MOT
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. Big up Budgie and Kieran says tips. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Wally Doll.
What happened after that when they nicked everyone?
Yeah.
They mate, this is why, you know what I mean? I remember being on away trains with West Ham, right? And if you found out anyone was a media, you'd kick that fucker off the train because of the fucking shite they write, the bullshit they look at.
Oh yeah, mate. Journalists, we never liked them. None of us ever did.
I hate journalists and media, right? Because they're full of shit. And what happened?
Funny you should say that, because that's what we are now.
Well, I know I'm full of shit, but I'll own up to it. So, the guys outside, when when it happened, the court case eventually, it went to the Old Bailey, right? And I think they called them, because of the borough, Newham, they called them the Newham Seven. The Asian guys that got nicked, they called them the Newham Seven, something like that. Newham Five, Newham Seven. Honestly, it was a big thing in the papers. But the media classed that pub, right, as a national front pub, a right-wing extremist pub. You know what I mean? It was It just happened over this one incident where they nicked his chains. We fucking reacted, and they decided to come and smash the pub. It was just a thing. They were Asian, we were white, but it had nothing to do with race. It's just an incident that happened on the day. But the fucking papers and the media turned us into fucking National Front, fucking extreme right-wing fucking, you know, it was bollocks. Really pissed me off. But yeah, that was just an interesting day. But yeah.
Wally seems to think that you've got a problem with Windows.
That was fun.
Yeah. Wally seems to think that you have a problem with Windows. I think it may be more that Windows have a problem with Kieran.
It is, yeah. That was not the first time, as Bolly knows, that the windows have come flying in.
Well, on the Unfocused show when you spoke about the train and that.
Yeah, the train one, but this was scarier, right? Because these were big windows.
I know, yeah. You've got people there that really don't care. People out there that really don't care, you know. Yeah, that's why he's moved to Australia, Wally. You don't need any windows.
I know. Yeah, it was another window story. I have a few of them.
Yeah. Because I've always lived in Crawley. Well, I say always. I was born here and I've lived here for, probably 90% of my life, I would say. Most of my stories are local, and some of them are obviously, in Green Street at West Ham and at one or two away games. Most of the time when I went to away games, I have to be honest with you, I actually didn't get involved with, or there really wasn't any trouble. Because there are certain clubs that
I tried my best not to get involved in anything.
Yeah. I mean, there were certain clubs where you just didn't have problems with them because they kind of they were waiting at the station with a beer in hand for you, kind of thing. That was the kind of people they were. We'd get off the station and there'd be a pub right opposite the station, maybe. Like for example, when we went to Leicester, I'm talking about probably 1977, somewhere around that area. We went up to Leicester, I believe it was. Yep, it was Leicester. And the train station that we were told to get off at was right next to a pub, which was not owned, which was frequented by a lot of the local fan base. And as they saw us getting off the train and we were chatting and obviously southern accents compared to them, they immediately knew that we were West Ham and started shouting across the road, "Hey, you boys West Ham?" And we're like, yeah, getting on our guard and expecting, "Come and have a beer with us before the game, lads. We're going to the game. Come and have a beer with us." They were going, I was like, what? There was only about 5 or 6 of us, you know what I mean? And I was like, what? Really? Are we going to go and have a beer with these boys and get lured into their pub and God knows what going to happen? And it was like, we've got jugs. There was about 8 jugs on this table outside the pub. And they were like, we've got beer, we got glasses, we'll get you glasses and that. Come over and have a beer with us and that. And we was having a beer with them and it all was going very swimmingly. And then one lad comes out of the pub and he says, "Right, game start. We've got to get to the game." So we says, "Oh, we'll walk up the road with you." And they're like, "No, you fucking won't." What? Because no, you won't. We don't want any of our lot seeing us walking up the street with you lot. We don't mind having a beer with you here, but between here and the ground, and between the ground and back here, we don't talk. We're like, okay, that's a bit weird, isn't it? He's like, no, 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 no. He said there are people out there that won't take too kindly to us chatting to you on the way to a game or at the ground or on the way back. I said, so what? If I see you by the burger stand, I can't say, oh, all right, mate. He went, no, no, you can't do that. Fuck no. He goes, I'll get my head smashed in. I was like, what? And apparently the elites or whatever they call themselves, there was probably about 3 or 4 dozen of them. But apparently, if they saw them talking to away supporters anywhere near the ground, they were in trouble. Darren, he's saying Cam was great last night. I didn't know he was a charity boxer. Yes, he is a charity boxer. He's only had one fight so far as I'm aware. But yeah, he's gonna start training up for this next one, or he's already started training. He needs to cut down on the big Macs and the quarter pounders. Yes, Dazra, was great. Just needs to leave his chewing gum next time. Yeah, he said that to me.
I actually sent him a message about that. I watched it, right? I couldn't watch it live because it's 4 in the morning for me, and I woke up about.
So, yeah, I kind of caught some of it, but I had things going on.
I'm not going to eat with his chewing gum going. I said, Darren, I thought he'd done really well though, really well.
Yeah, really I spoke to him in a private conversation.
Slapping away.
Yeah, I spoke to him in a private conversation last night. No, this morning it was. And he said, I said to him, I love the show, mate. I'm watching it now. Because I didn't catch it all. So he said, yeah, I just got to remember not to use chewing gum next time. He said, but I thought it might help me. He said he thought it would help him with his nerves, but which is fair enough. I when I first started, I was smoking cigarettes and that, and it helps me with my nerves. So.
No, I think I thought he was superb. Actually, a lot better than I thought he would be. I thought he really nervous because when I've been on there with Titch and him, he's been very quiet and he's been a bit more subdued in talking and that. And I thought he might be a little. Yeah,
no, he actually took control of his corner last night. It was pretty good.
He was more on his own.
Thought it was a horse eating an apple.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought I think he was more confident than I would be on my own. I tell you, I thought he was superb. He done really, really well, Cap. Fair play to your son.
Yeah.
If you ever say this, but yeah, he done really well. Well done, boy.
Yeah, it was very good. So I got a question for you, Titch. So next time I come on to one of your shows, what number shirt are you going to give me?
What number do you want? What number do you want? That's the question he's going to ask.
Oh, is it? Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to get the number I want.
I told him I wanted number 2 because I used to play right back. I was born on the 22nd of the 2nd. So
right, okay.
the number 2 has been a big part of my life, right? I played right back. I was born on the 22nd of the 2nd. So I had to have number 2. Or 22. Cool. I would have settled for 22 because and that was Haller's number 2.
Yeah. Benny's number now, isn't it? Oh, look, he's gone to the fridge. Gone to the fridge, look. Yeah, I suppose there it is. There's the question. What number do you want? Well, I always wore the number 8 shirt when I played. So, I don't know if you, because I think somebody's already had the number 8 shirt, haven't they? But isn't that Davey? Wasn't Davey in the 8 shirt? Or I say in it. I mean, wasn't that Davey? Or is that 6? I can't remember now. But I would like to have the number 8 displayed next time. Yeah, that's it. See, I thought it was David. Yeah, Davey's got the 8.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I saw it on the what's the name?
and
Yeah,
you've got the other number, Titch. Oh, and he says it's up to Kieran. He's the boss of the channel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
sure.
Cam's is 6. That's
what number
right.
do you
Cam's
want,
is 6. Well, you know, I don't know. See, my number's gone. My number's gone. I suppose it'd have to be the only other number I could. The only other number I could have is the number 3 because I played left midfield, and sometimes I played left wing back. So I suppose number 3 would be. No, I can't have number 3. No, I can't. No.
What do you mean left
number
wing
9.
Back? No
number 9. You
fucking never went past the halfway line, you fucker. Get the fucking left wing out of your head. You were left back. That's it.
No, mate. I was left midfielder for a longer period than I was a left back. No, I used to drop back into the left wing back position when we didn't have anybody to play there. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, you know.
Yeah, but is it? Yeah, regardless of the football number.
I'll just take the 9.
Is there another number that's poignant to you, like your birthday?
Yeah, number 9. No. I wouldn't have 7. I wouldn't have 17 on my back. Definitely not. Definitely not. Titchy saying fight Davey for 8 or fight Cams for 6 for charity. No, they can keep their numbers. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Titch.
Have it.
I'm not really a fighting man anymore. I'm 60 years old. I've got a heart condition. I've got a lung full of bloody tar and nicotine, or 2 lungs actually. I've still got both. Yeah, no, I'm not fighting nobody for no reason, not unless I have to. Hurt my daughter or another woman in front of me, and then I might have a fight. But other than that, no. Darren says he's number 3. I thought you are an English second language teacher. I'm left back. Wait, it's this English second language. I've appeared twice on his channel, so I'm not exactly what you. I'm probably more like a teacher's pet. Left mid is 11 then. Yeah, but I never ever wore the 11 shirt. I wore the 8 shirt all of my playing time, and I wore the 9 shirt for about the last 7 games I played.
All right.
So I would like the number 9, please. Can I have the number 9, please, Titch?
Apart from Bobby Moore, right? Who's one of your heroes growing up? Because the other number I would have been happy with, right?
Yeah.
Would have been 4.
Billy Bonds.
Because it was Billy Bonds' number. And I did wear that number now.
The greatest number 4 ever to wear, claret and blue. Hang on, just excuse me for a second. I've got to get my charger.
He's all right then. We got numbers. Pick a number.
I have picked a bloody number. I want the 9.
I won't talk to you. You were number 9? Fuck, you never. Yeah. God, you never. I told you, you never got past the halfway line. What were you having number 9 for?
Listen, I got slower and slower as I got older, and I went further and further forward. And at the end, about the last 7 games, I actually wore the number 9 shirt. I actually wore the number 9 shirt. Yeah.
Waste of time.
Midfield's 11. All right, I'll tell you what then, Titch. I would like the 9, but I only ever wore it about 7 times to say. In fact, I scored a beautiful goal from the corner of the box over the top of the keeper and into the back corner of the net. Beautiful shot.
Any witnesses to that, mate?
Yeah, actually, my nephew Ryan. I was playing against him. What happened was, I played for this team, and then my nephew said, "Oh, you know, they got this game coming up, and it's against Red Hill Rovers, they were called, right?" And I went, "You're shitting me." He went, "No." I said, "That's who I'm playing for." He went, "Shut up, Clive. You're 53. You ain't still playing." I went, "Wait, I'm still playing. I was playing up until I was 53. Not every week, and I weren't training, or I was just turning up and playing, you know. He goes, "Nah, shut up, you ain't playing." I went, "All right." So anyway, he turns up with all his mates. They're all in their like mid-30s and younger. And then he sees me out there wearing the number 9 shirt, and he was like, "Uncle Clive, what are you doing?" I said, "I'll show you, boys. Don't worry. I'll show you." Right, I nutmegged one of the best defenders in their team. Right, nutmegged him, went round him, and then laid off the ball for our first goal. We beat them 3-1. We had some really good players, and I was the only old bastard in the fucking team. It was great. It was great. And the only reason I got into the team was because the guy who was their manager I used to play with him. And he said to me, "I'll come up and have a look at us have a look at the boys training and that. See if you want to get involved." And I went, "Yeah, all right." And I went up there and like did a few things, and you know, so I went up there and said, "Look, you know, let me have a little kick around with the boys and see, you know, what's happening." And he goes to me, "Do you actually want to play?" I said, "Well, no, I'm a bit old, really." He goes, No. He goes, "I'll give you like 20 minutes a game or so." He goes, "Do you actually want to play? I could do with a sub like you." I was like, "Yeah, all right then." So I played as a sub, but he gave me the number 9 shirt because it was vacant. So he didn't actually have a striker. He played, you know, the false 9 role.
Yeah. So, we don't do that. We didn't do that. No,
no. Well, no. But I mean, this is only 7 years ago.
Yeah.
7 years ago. So that was when the false 9. That is when the false 9 and that started really getting popular around Europe. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I didn't play for about 3 years before that. You know, during my sort of like 45, 46, 47, I didn't actually play, but that was purely and simply because of my ex-partner. You know, but yeah.
I played a reasonable standard of football till I was 43.
Yeah.
Then realised that there was too many young players playing. Then you go, well, you just can't keep up with them, mate. You just can't. There's too much, you know. It was getting too hard. It was getting painful to play. And if you're playing against same age groups, it's not that hard. But when you're playing against guys, and we were playing teams in our leagues that were university teams, you know, of 19, 20, 18, 19, 20 years of age. You know, just fit too quick. They're not necessarily any better. They were just too quick and too sharp. You know what I mean? You just couldn't give up with them.
Yeah.
And at age, so you go, fuck this. This is nonsense. You know?
Yeah. Actually, Titch, I have just decided on the shirt number I want. I have just decided on the shirt number I want. 41.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'll have 41, please. I know it's vacant.
Yeah, there's another average player we've got with that number.
Yeah. Average player. yeah. In the greater scheme of things, he is average compared to some of the great players that we've mentioned or that we could mention.
At the moment, he's going to get.
But
he's going to get
better. in the current game, in the Premiership, he's got to be rated as one of the top 3 defensive midfielders. I mean,
he's up there. He's
up
in the top 5.
Got to be in the top 3. Yeah,
I'd say
probably, mate.
Myself.
I suppose claret and blue tinted glasses would see him at third or second.
Yeah. But I'd sell him tomorrow, Gozer. There you go. I'd sell him tomorrow.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to take less than 150 for him.
Well, whatever the money is, if it's good money, I'll take it and move on.
Yeah. Well, Titch, I kind of knew you hadn't already made my shirt because I haven't really sort of like been on a planned stream with you. I came in on the after show after Kieran did the who was it that did the player ratings? Oh no, it was your after show for your one from each team.
Yeah,
I came on to that, but that was you see you're a cheeky sod. Look what he's saying here. Look, stick to 41 as it's half of your age, Budgie. It will be by the time mine's made up, that's for sure. 41. 41. I would like 41, please, because
it's actually
that's actually showing respect to our.
Yeah, it's a bit mean, Budge. It's actually 2/3.
Yeah, it is effectively.
Effectively, yeah.
1 year over 2/3 my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 41 it is then. Thank you, Titch. Cheers, mate. Who is this? Hammerhead's in the house. Good afternoon, Hammerhead. Hope we're all well. Yes, I'm well, and Kieran seems to be well. We're looking at what 10:15 in the evening for Kieran, so not quite ready for bed yet. Still got a few more VBs.
You're in them hours, mate. You're so good, aren't you? You're so good with them fucking hours now.
Oh, mate, yeah. I've only got to look at my clock and I know exactly where it is for you. 41 going once, go twice. Sold to the old git.
The old git's got 41.
41 it is. Big up Hammerhead, my broski, says Titch. Yes. Thank you for joining us, mate. So, what else can we talk about? You know, there's so many things. There's so many
and so little at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So really, if you haven't already, the guys that are in the chat and watching this, and if anybody watches this later on, but if anybody's watching this later on, don't forget to go over to Hammers Fans United and have a look at the one from each team. Have a look at all the content by all means, but have a look at the one from each team. You know, Wally World's done one, I've done one, Kieran's done one, 2 or 3 others. I think there's probably 8 is there now in the series, including Charlie Walsh, Charlie Boy. There's a few. Cam done one, so give them a look because that's a really, really great concept for a show.
Yeah,
I've probably watched mine about 5 times now.
When I've done that, Budge, I started off as saying, look, I've got a really attacking team there, and I'm not sure it's that balanced. But when I look, when Titch threw it up there with his graphics and everything else, actually, it's a lot more balanced than I thought. It's a lot better than I thought. The bench and the first team. It's amazing, isn't it? You don't actually visualize it till he.
And the thing is,
Titch makes it visual. Then you go, wow. And when he puts that, I'm going, fuck me, that's balanced enough for me.
Yeah,
and the bench.
He's saying he's recorded another one the other day, but he hasn't touched it yet. Fair enough. Any clues as to the guest, or do we already know? I don't already know. Any clues, or you're just going to tell me? That'd be nice, Titch.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, actually, I need to give you a call in a little while, Titch, if you don't mind, regarding streaming pre-recorded stuff. Right. Anyway, so I what was I going to say? What I really liked about it is oh, hang on. It's an ex-pro whose nephew is currently playing in the Premiership.
Yeah. He did mention him.
Yes. And I can't for the life of me remember who it was. That's off, isn't it? Why have I forgotten?
That's right. Yeah, he said because he was going to do it the same. He wanted to do it the same night as I done it, and then Titch put him off a week.
Hang on a minute. So
Yeah.
his nephew's currently playing in the Premiership. So there ain't no Ferdinand's left playing in the Premiership. So it's not Les Ferdinand. We can rule him out.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, however, has uncles.
I don't think it's a big name.
I don't think it's. Oh no, he said
be wrong.
An ex whose nephew is currently playing in the Premiership. Ah, bet I need more clues than that, mate. Who does he play for? That's what I need to know. Sounds great, Titch. It does sound interesting. Very, very interesting. And that's one from each team, yes? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, he's asking, what are the initials, Titch? Oh, it's Phil Walker. His nephew is Walker Peters. Oh, all right. That's a big clue. That's a massive clue. Phil Walker. Yeah, I remember you mentioning his name, actually, I believe. Yeah. That's brilliant, Titch. That is brilliant. I love that. I love that. I haven't actually heard back from my brother's mate yet, as it happens, as to the contact with any of the ex-pros that he knows. However, one of the guys that I am hoping to get in touch with through him, I bought this on eBay. The Julian Dick story. Terminator. I haven't started reading it yet, only arrived yesterday. But it only cost me £3, including postage and packing.
Really?
£3.
He's gone downhill.
You know,
£3.
It's been read once by somebody and then sold on.
Yeah.
So I don't care. I mean, the cover price of it was probably about £15, wasn't it? I know, tenner, £9.99, and I got it for £3 because he's read it. I won't sell it on.
It's a bargain.
If I do get to meet him, I'll have it signed by him. Do you know what though? Look, see that picture of him there? Who does he remind you of in that picture? Anybody?
Not at the moment, no.
Duke?
Definitely not Titch.
No, Duke?
No.
He don't remind you of Duke?
No, he don't. No.
All right.
Oh no,
maybe it's just me then. Maybe it's just me then. Oh dear. Walker Peters for a point. Wally World. Do you know what? Actually, Fornells. Do you know? When I watched Cam's show, he actually did one initial thoughts on there with a double barrel name on it, and I thought it was quite a good one. All right, it was. He put the order of the letters up in order, so it was reasonably easy if you're on the ball, and it was Charlie Walsh that got it. So Callum Hudson-Odoi. I thought it was quite good. I like that. So you know, he's giving you an idea there, isn't he, Titch? Isn't he? Eh? Cool. No, some of the players that he knows are. Well, I think he has contact with Trevor Brooking, but I don't suppose for 1 minute I'll get a minute of his time.
He doesn't.
He also knows Dave Besant, the ex-Wimbledon, ex-Chelsea goalkeeper. He knows him on a personal level, very good friends. He knows Dixie. He knows Tony Gale. He knows. Bless you, mate. Bless you, mate. That's all them mating wallabies and that out there, isn't it?
No, I don't know. Yeah, don't know where that comes from. That sneeze.
They're rustling up all the pollen in the grass, mate. That's what they're doing.
It's very rarely I sneeze. Very rare.
Yeah. But anyway, there's quite a substantial list of players that he's in regular contact with, because I think he has something to do with some of the ex-professional player legends nights, you know, when it's not team specific.
No,
so, yeah.
that'd be great. Look, whatever happens, mate, you might get lucky and get into one. It doesn't matter what team they come from. If you can get a chat with one of them, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely fantastic. So I wouldn't, play it by ear, mate, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I tell you?
Hang on, one second, Kieran. In respect to that comment there, Titch, if he put it up as CHO, so obviously, you know, it was quite obvious once you had a good look at it. But yeah, but I mean, if he'd have done HOC or HCO or something, I mean, if he'd have mixed it up, it wouldn't have been quite so obvious, I don't think, anyway. But I'll get your point, Pete. I'll get your point.
There's only a handful of double barrel. Like I said, I've always said it before. I would never sign a player with a double barrel name to West Ham. Never. Get the fuck out of it. Costs too much for the shirt numbers, for the letters on the back. Fuck them off. You can't have them fuckers, mate. They'll take the piss.
Dig up some of that money from the train robbery, mate. You'll be fine.
Wait, do you know what? I realised, like, what you said the other day? I don't think, it's I'm a fucking old train robber, right? Do you know when that train robbery was committed? You said it the other day, right?
Yeah.
People don't realise you're only 5 when they do it. I weren't. I was 2. It was 1963 when they done the Great.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
63, right? I was only 2, so I don't think I was like part of that.
I know, but it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Oh, look, there goes these bloody notifications.
But look, my only claim to the Great Train Robbery is that I did meet Buster Edwards, right? I did meet him later on in life, in about 1980. Yeah. I did meet the boy, but that's it. That's my only claim to the Great Train Robbery.
Yeah, I actually met Lenny McLean once. I was in a pub with a couple of lads, and we were meeting up with a couple of other lads, and we were going off to just be naughty, basically. So we're sitting in this pub, and he just walked into the pub, plonked himself down at the table. The barmaid brought him a drink over. He gave her the money, and she wandered off and brought his change back. And he was just sitting there like, nobody paid him any attention. And then he noticed I was looking at him. And he's like, "You all right, boy?" I said, "Yes, mate." I was a bit nervous. He goes, "Well, you ain't got to be nervous around me, son. Come sit down and have a beer with me." "Really?" I said, "Yeah, go on, have a seat." So I sat down at this table. I wouldn't say a fucking word unless he asked me a question, or unless he said me, "What do you think?" Anyway, so then, and one of the worst things that he could have told me is, "I fucking follow the Millwall, don't I?" She, "What team do you support, boy?" I went, "I don't like football."
Sorry about that.
I don't like football. Oh, fucking hell, you don't know what you're missing.
I did that. I'll tell you what I did, Budge. I know I told you, it was about 2 years ago. My mate is he was a big player on the Gold Coast here, little Frankie Cole, right? Top player, mate. He was. I'll tell you, his story was he's a Scottish boy, right? And he got signed by Leicester. I think he went to Blackpool first, right, and then got signed by Leicester. And he was there at Leicester when Gary Lineker was there, right? And and he was up and coming. Frankie was some player, I'm telling you. And he broke his leg at Leicester, and it sort of fucked him, right? And he couldn't progress at Leicester. So he ended up moving to Australia, and Perth signed him the soccer team in Perth. He went to Western Australia. He won the Rothmans silver medal player of the year in Perth, right? He was that good. He moved here to Brisbane and played for the Brisbane Lions. Top player. And that's when I got to meet him. His mate played with me at Surfers, right, on the Gold Coast, and he played in Brisbane. And then he used to come down after games at weekends, and I ended up becoming a really good friend with him. And so 2 years ago, anyway, to cut a long story short, I mean, I've known him for 30 odd years or whatever. What a player. He even played for the Scotland youth team. He had caps from the Scotland youth team. So when he said to me, he phoned me up about 2 years ago. He said, mate, the Australia are celebrating the anniversary of the National League before it became the A-League here. And they're doing a do down in Sydney. Do you want to come? I went, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. So he picked me up. We jumped on a plane. We flew down to Sydney, booked in a hotel, and then went to this do. And I didn't know anything about it. He just said, look, they're celebrating. And who would be, on the top table was Tim Cahill and Robbie Slater. And I was going, fuck. Robbie Slater, West Ham boy. The boy played West Ham, it's great. It's great. And there's a couple of other professionals there. The boy that played for the big centre half played for Rangers. He was there as well. And so anyway, chat. Anyway, the four guys I'm sitting with, they didn't really smoke. So I went out to the smoking area for a cigarette. And who would be out there is Robbie Slater, right? So I'm going, fucking hell. And I looked at him, I went, he's having I didn't think he smoked. You know what I mean? So, And I went, and I just walked up to him, Robbie. I said, how you going, Robbie? A lot of my West Ham boy. He said, and he just saying, wait, come on, you havers. First thing he said to me. I went, fuck. I said, yeah, mate. I said, and we talked for 10 minutes, mate. 10 minutes, no one else, just me and him. And it was just such a great meeting. And I asked him, why did you leave West Ham? Because you were really well liked at West Ham. And he said, look, and his story was to me, he said, look, I didn't want to leave West Ham. I said, I was happy there. I was enjoying it. He said, Redknapp was a manager at the time. He said, I got a call to go to his office. He called him and he said, look, Southampton have put an offer in for you. Right, I'm accepting it. And he said, I knew then that, well, if he's accepting
that was his days numbered at West Ham.
Yeah. So he said, okay. He said, I want you to talk to the Southampton people. I've accepted the offer. And that was that. So he had to go and talk to Southampton, whoever it was. And next thing he was gone. And he said, that's how it happened. And that's how it used to happen then. They'd call you in, tell you you're gone, basically. And he went. But he said, I really enjoyed it at West Ham. I didn't want to move.
Yeah.
But Redknapp told him that the offer was accepted, and that was that, basically.
Yeah. Titchy saying, I bet he was as happy to meet and chat with you as you were to meet and chat with him. That's probably right as well, because it's not. Yeah, but Kieran, it's not like you run up to him with a book and pen in hand and
I didn't.
Can I get a fucking selfie with you and all that bullshit nonsense?
No,
you know what I mean?
But having said that, he said, "Look, do you want to?" He said to me, "Do you want a photo?" I said, "I'd love one, but I don't want to be rude." He said, "No, not a problem." Right, that's what he said to me.
Yeah, it's because you didn't ask.
And I can't.
It's because you didn't ask.
What? It's a cracking photo, right? I had it, and I sent it to my mates, right? And I got one done with Tim Cahill as well, right? And I don't know if I've changed phones since, because I looked for it on my phone here, and I can't find it. I'm not sure if I've got a new phone now since then, but I did send it to my mates at the time. And I can't fucking find them photos, because I'd love to show that photo of me and Robbie Slater. It's a real cracking photo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm gutted. I'm gutted.
Yeah.
Really
Titch is saying, like,
it.
you can rely on Titch to have great comments about stuff like this. All the way in Oz, he wouldn't have expected it.
No.
Like an East End boy would have walked up to him and said,
No.
"Hello, Robbie.
No.
How are you,
And
mate?"
I wasn't expecting to actually meet him. I went to that do, right? Not expecting to meet anyone. I didn't know anyone, any ex-pros would be there. But for Tim Cahill, because when I sent the 2 photos to my mates, right, I said, look, it's Robbie Slater and Tim Cahill, right? And all I got from the Tim Cahill, oh, that fucking Millwall cunt. Fuck him. That's all I got. Because Cahill played with Millwall, right? Brilliant. That's all I got back.
Yeah.
I wish I could find that.
Me and my brother were working in Devon a couple of years back, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years back. We were working in Devon, and we were travelling down there on a Sunday evening or a Monday morning, and then coming back on the Friday afternoon. So we were coming home one Friday, and we were on the M4. For some reason, we'd gone onto the M4. I think there was like a diversion or something this particular weekend, some major accident, and we'd ended up on the M4. And we pulled into the services because we were both busting for a pee. And as we walked into the services, and we were nowhere near the toilets, Titch, for your information, we were heading towards the toilet. As we were walking in through the doors into the services, the sliding doors that come open, Andy Townsend came walking out. And my brother looked at him and went, "Andy!" And he went, "Do I know you?" He goes, "No, but I fucking know you." She says, "Do you?" And he looked a bit worried. And my brother went, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm a Chelsea fan and all that." You're like, whew, like that, right? He looked a bit relieved. And he goes, "You're a Chelsea fan as well?" And I went, "No, I'm West Ham, mate." And he just went, "Okay." I said, that, like, because me and my brother, when we talk, we call each other bruv all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And so he obviously tweaked that we were brothers. We got similar look about us, but nothing too similar, I don't think. But he kind of tweaked that we were brothers. And then when he saw that he was like staunch Chelsea and I'm West Ham, he was like, "How did that happen?" So my brother goes, "Oh, my mum and dad followed West Ham a bit, and he followed them into it, you know, and I just followed my own route." That was it. And then he said, "Well, I've got to go, lads." And he went off. And do you know what? He didn't even get in no flash car or nothing. And even though he's still doing his punditry and stuff like that, I think, what was it he had? I think it was something like can't remember, a Nissan Primera or something like that. It weren't nothing flash. It was just a standard little saloon car, you know. I like that though. You know, nothing ostentatious. You know, just because you've got a bit of money, you don't have to show it. We are massive. That's why Titch. We are worldwide now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm as wide as most people.
Darren's saying that he met Robbie Fowler at his last club in Thailand. Mate, I've got to be honest with you. Robbie Fowler was a great striker, great player. He reminded me a lot. I mean, for me, if you could have had him on up front and Robbie Keane up front, for me, that would have been the dream pairing for me. Robbie Fowler and Robbie Keane. What a strike force that would have been.
Fowler, mate, you can't get a better poacher than him. You just can't.
No.
He's just phenomenal.
And then you get the workhorse in Robbie Keane, who's also a very good poacher as well. Yeah. I've seen him wheeling away, celebrating after just arriving in the box and tapping it in. But yeah, great. Oh, that would have been great. The disabled team said yesterday that he isn't getting our notifications, or I'm sure he would have tuned in today to watch you two. Well, the notification should be on. It's up to the individual, though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, not a problem.
maybe if we can have a chat later, Titch, you can tell me how I can check my notification status.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I haven't got mine. I've probably not got mine on.
Right.
No, I have actually, because I say I was on the page and that. I saw yours
okay.
come up, and I dipped out of it. It did come up, and went bang in half an hour's time. So, all right, I went right there.
Trying to rip off the two Ronnies with the two Robbies, Budgie. No, mate. Honestly, when I was watching either of those two playing on Match of the Day, or or on a live game that I may have caught on TV or something, whenever I see them, they both had a very similar style of play, and they had a very, very similar impact on any game that they were in. But they were two very different players, like, as you say, Robbie Fowler was a poacher, an out-and-out poacher, fast as buggery, but an out-and-out poacher. Whereas Robbie Keane was more of a worker, and he would take on defenders a little bit more often, I thought, than Robbie Fowler would. But I just thought that they would be a dream pairing up front, So,
do you know? I do want to get a quick mention, guys. A boy that no, he said the two Ronnies, right? Barry Cryer. He died yesterday or the day before.
Yes, he did.
And
he did. Yeah.
He was. I loved that boy. I thought he was some of the funniest guy. But he was a backroom guy. But when you ever saw him,
he wrote a lot of material for a lot of people.
He wrote a lot for the two Ronnies, and he wrote a lot for Morecambe and Wise, and that was his thing, right? He wrote for all the best comedians there were, and he died. But when I ever saw him, he was so quick, he was so funny, he was so sharp, just a funny man. But his forte was writing for other.
He used to be on a TV show, like a panel show.
Yeah, he did.
Whose line is it anyway? Was it, or something like that?
I think he ended up on a lot of them, but it was that, and he was so quick, he was so sharp.
He was just brilliant.
His dry sense of humour was fucking brilliant, right?
So, he was quality.
Rest in peace, Barry Cryer, but the boy was.
Rest in peace, Barry Cryer. Yes, indeed. Yeah, he was a great writer, and a lot of people, would be unaware of the stuff that he has written,
Exactly.
For who he wrote for. I mean, some pretty well-known names, that
you got to remember, Morecambe and Wise were the biggest thing in the world back then. Two Ronnies at that time were the biggest thing in the world. He was part of the writing team that made them.
Yeah.
So that tells you.
And you know who else did a lot of writing for other people as well was Spike Milligan.
Yeah, he did.
He wrote for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, a lot of their stuff was done by him. Even though they did a lot of writing for themselves and other people as well. But Barry Cryer, king of them all, mate. Well, for British comedy anyway.
Yeah, for British comedy.
But I mean, he would write, the comedy section or the comedy lines for some of the stuff that, like, for example, I don't know if you remember it, there was a Family Fortunes, and Max Bygrave.
Yeah.
Was it Family Fortunes? Or something like that anyway. But Max Bygrave was the host. And like all of like a lot of that was Barry Cryer's writing, and stuff like that. It was quite incredible the amount of stuff that he did.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wally's saying he loved those comedy shows in the 70s, mate. They were brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. And I mean no disrespect.
Comedy was at its height, I think, in the 70s.
I mean no disrespect when I say this though, but I find it easier to, I suppose, because I am English and you know, I've grown up here and lived here for 60 years. You know, I find it easier for me to digest English humour than I do any other country's humour, you know, like including American and Australian and that. You know, sometimes I don't catch the meaning of certain things in like American humour or Aussie humour or whatever. But one person I do love is Kevin Bloody Wilson. I think he's brilliant. He's absolutely quality. If you don't know who Kevin Bloody Wilson is, then educate yourself on YouTube. All right. He is so good, but he's quite rude as well. So but very, very funny. He's a musical.
I did go to see him live, Clive.
Did you?
Live, Clive.
Live, Clive. Yeah.
Outrageous. Yeah. Very, very, very funny.
Oh, hold up! Somebody at the door. Bear with me.
Righto, someone at the door. Who's fuck? It's the old Bill. The old Bill turned up.
Oh, look, he's been shopping.
Any handcuffs? Is there any handcuffs?
Yeah. He's been shopping. He's been shopping. Well, just give me 10 minutes, and then I'll be off of here in 10 minutes, son. Yeah. Well, he says Benny Hill was brilliant too. Yes, he was, and you know, if anybody was going to be accused of being a sexual deviant in TV, you would have put money on it being him.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You would. You come across as a bit of a dodgy fucker, but
yeah,
I've not heard much any story. Who knows? Yeah. But funny for its time, and this is what it's all about.
Oh gosh, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, at the end of the show when he used to chase those scantily clad girls around the
that was part of the
thing. Yeah, that was all quite funny, you know. But you know, one of the best things I ever saw Benny Hill in was the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He was the toy maker in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was very funny in that. He was very good in that. I liked him in that. But even in that, you know, he was quite.
When I'll imagine if all them shows, you know, what I mean, what he would have seen. I mean, it could be there's a plethora, isn't there? There's on the buses, the two.
I loved on the buses.
Yeah, there's so many good comedies that came in the era.
Man About the House.
Would they stand the test of time now? Probably not, mate. But for us as kids and young adults.
Do you remember Love Thy Neighbour?
Yeah, I know. And
you would never get away with that now, would you?
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. How could you get away with him calling him Sambo and him calling him Honky? But
I know.
I think what they tried to do, a bit like Till Death Us Do Part, right? What they tried to do was, you know, Matey, the northerner, the white boy, make him look stupid at the end of it. And I think they did. I think they did make him look stupid. It sort of gave my because he was depicted as a face. He had racist tones all over him, right? But Matey used to give him back. What was the black guy's name? I remember his name was an actor. And he used to slaughter him, right? And he used to get it, right?
Yeah.
And
I remember his wife's name. I remember his wife's name. Her real name.
She had a double-barreled name. Name.
Yeah, it was Nina Baden Semper.
There you go. I knew it was double-barreled, sir.
And do you know what? I was quite young when that TV show came out, probably about 11 or something.
Did you set one off for her?
Mate, I probably would have done if I'd known what that was back then. Oh, I had a proper crush on her.
Yeah.
Proper crush on her. I don't know how that happened, you know, bearing in mind that she was, you know, a black woman. But then I suppose, like I've said before, you know, from a 6-month-old child, the first friend and playmate I ever knew was an adopted black boy, and who also is a West Ham fan, Kipper. So yeah, he.
That's what I'm saying. Same. My best.
So I suppose there might be the fact that the fact that I didn't see colour as an issue. I suppose that.
No, that wasn't the issue. When you had the program, that they were confronting the issue of black and white, and whether you agreed with it or not, with the language used in the shows, and back then it weren't an issue. Maybe it should have been, but I think the reason they used it was to highlight how ignorant people can be, right? Where you've got the Northerner calling him Sambo, right? And that was his go-to word. And then he ends up becoming a cropper by the end of that show, making himself look like a fucking dick. And I think that was the point that the writers there were trying to make. You know, the guy being a racist dick is a fucking donut. And I think that whether that got lost, I don't know. I don't think it did. I think it didn't get lost. I think it was meant to be that. It was meant to be that this is not right. This is wrong. He's a fucking idiot. But Gazer, I can't hear you. Where you gone?
Sorry, I flicked me mute button off. Sorry.
I thought that.
Yeah, I think excuse me again. I think of those shows that are considered to be a bit racially inappropriate and sexually inappropriate.
It would be that for sure.
I think they're probably under lock and key. They still exist, but I think the recordings are probably going to be under lock and key. I don't think the government would allow like BBC or ITV or Channel 4 or anything.
No, I don't think they
broadcast that stuff anymore. You probably would find, maybe on YouTube and stuff like that. But Wally's saying that 40 Towers is his favourite comedy to this day. It was brilliant. I got to believe. Can't believe Budgie remembered someone's last name from so far back. Listen, I have got a really good long-term memory. It's my short-term memory that suffers, and we all know why that is. I smoke inappropriate tobacco. That's why my short-term memory is messed up. So that's why when I'm talking about certain things I want to talk about, I have to have notes to remind me. Yeah, you're right, Kieran. It's better when Budgie is on mute. It makes more sense, he said. You could stop laughing at all, Wally. You were going to get an invitation. Come and have a chat with me.
I'll tell you what, you know what he said,
I'm reconsidering now.
I think we all grew up thinking that is the most amazing comedy series we've ever
funny
seen.
As hell.
And
it was as funny as heck.
And we thought, I'll tell you what's in our heads.
There was no political correctness in that.
A few years ago, mate, I thought 40 Towers, because every episode was so brilliant, right, and so funny for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was 3 or 4 series, right? I really thought that in my head. But you know, there was only about 7 or 8 episodes of that, and he stopped it. That's all there is. There's about 8 episodes of 40 Towers. Nothing else.
Yeah.
And they begged him to do another series. Begged Cleese to do another one. He went, nah.
He's like, nah, I don't want to ruin it. I want to leave it as it is.
Don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. See if I can see how many we can name of them, though, Kieran. There was Basil the Rat, the Germans.
I couldn't name them episodes. I couldn't.
Basil the Rat, Germans.
Don't mention the war.
Yeah, don't mention the war. I think
I did, but I think I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. That was such a great line.
There you go. Wally's saying it was 12 episodes. I'm not going to even try and.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and name all of them.
Thank you, Ollie. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
It was 12, right? 12. But everyone thinks it was years and years of 40 Towers, and it weren't.
Yeah.
It was that. Okay. 12 episodes, and that was it. It was amazing, really. There's that much impact. When you talk to people of our era, they'll always go back to 40 Towers saying it's one of the funniest things they've ever seen. Only 12 episodes.
Wally clearly liked the German episode.
Bloody Germans!
Actually, I like the one where he kept on catching an eyeful of that girl in the room, and Sybil kept on slapping him up. Well, not slapping him up, but catching him. And yeah, that was quite funny. Oh, right.
And
yeah.
Sybil and Manuel, fucking hell.
Yeah. And do you remember Polly, the maid, chambermaid? That was actually his wife, wasn't it? That's actually John Cleese's wife.
It was, yeah.
I always thought it would have been Sybil, but it weren't. It was her.
No, it was Polly.
Anyway, listen, Kieran, we're only 8 minutes short of 2 hours, mate. So I am going to call an end to this. I am really. Oh, Lee, thank you for joining us, but unfortunately, mate, it's right at the end. So I'll give you a couple of minutes just to sort of say hello to everybody. Wally had a crush on Polly. Wally and Polly, that would have been quite a thing, wouldn't it? Wally and Polly, the poodle. What is it? The doodle with a poodle.
Yeah, he's in the double barrel names, isn't he?
Yeah, mate. Okay, so I'm going to call an end to this because, as I said, we're only a few minutes short of 2 hours. I didn't really want to be on this long, if I'm honest, but hey ho, there ain't no football being missed, so it's all good.
No, don't worry about that.
Okay, so Kidderminster, the next game. Hopefully, I'll see you before that, but I will definitely see you sometime around that game. We will definitely get together and have a chat. It's Stuart on Lee's account. Hi, Stuart. Thank you for joining us, mate.
Great. Hey, Stuart.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hi, brother Titch. Hope you're well, our friend.
Hey, Lee.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Great way to start the day. Well, thank you, Wally. It's nice of you to join us, mate. Lovely of everybody to join us. I do apologise, Stuart, that you've joined us at the end. And I understand that you're not getting notifications either. I'm going to look into the settings on my YouTube and etc. and see if I can sort that out from my end. But maybe you need to check whether you've, whether it's your end as well, mate. Yeah, so he says he's not getting notifications on his account. So anyway, I'm going to have a look, see if it's my end, guys. As I said, I am quite new to running my own channel, so I am kind of relying on information from other people to help me out that don't mind giving that information over. So I will.
Because I got the half-hour notification goes up myself, so maybe it's just.
Oh, you did?
Hitting that. Yeah, I did. So that's right. Maybe it's
so Titch is saying that he doesn't think it's anyone else's settings. It's just a YouTube issue.
I don't know.
Okay. So I did sort of schedule this at about 8 o'clock this morning. So there was 3 hours for it to stick the notifications out. So yeah. Anyway. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining us in the chat. Thank you, Kieran, for joining me in the studio.
No worries.
Don't forget, 9 a.m. tomorrow, UK time, which is 7 p.m. Australia and 5 p.m. Canada. I'm not going to try going into the USA because there's so many different time zones over there. I'll trip over them. So check your own areas for your own listing, for your own time. But yeah, 9 a.m. UK time, football refocused. I am going to play us out with a couple of little videos. thank you, Stuart. Thank you very much. I'm going to play us out of a couple of little videos just to say goodbye, and we will see you hopefully in the live chat tomorrow for Football Unfocused. Kieran, one more thing to say. Come on, you Irons.
Oh, yours, have it.